Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a legacy video every Friday. Hello everyone, Martin here, back with a vintage video today. Decided to take a break just briefly from legacy to dip my toes in the vintage pool. And I'm playing Doomsday. Will be the first time I'm recording since, I believe so anyways. I'm kind of unsure now. But I think it's the first time I've recorded vintage since the unrestriction of Ponder. So that's really exciting. And I am playing Doomsday. It's the only vintage deck I really have any experience with, and excited to give this a try. I've made a list. The main deck is, I think, like one for one, at least more or less. The list, a list I just saw from Discover N, whom I do not know who is, in real life, but I know is a pretty amazing Doomsday player on Magic Online. So I trust that. I made a couple tweaks to the sideboard. I kind of like Shieldred. I don't know if she's very popular recent like currently or ever in vintage Doomsday sideboards, but I like her. So I'm playing a couple of copies of her. I think the one omission from the 75 is Psychic Frog. I would kind of like to play a couple of copies, but maybe I'll do that at a later point. Um, Otherwise, if you're like me, is mostly a legacy player, then well, you'll be familiar with all what this deck wants to do, obviously. But here we just get the most busted cards in Magic. We get Black Lotus, Ancestral Recall. We get Gush, which basically just like puts turbo on the Doomsday, like full throttle. We also get to play with Demonic Consultation, which is just an amazing, uh, like, if you have one of your two oracles, it's basically just like Resolve Oracle, Demonic Consultation question mark, and then the game's over. Um, I will say that I am very, very wet behind the ears when it comes to the vintage format. I don't know. Like I feel like there are some basic vintage heuristics I probably need to fine tune or even sort of take in altogether. So you'll have to excuse me, you grizzled vintage experts that may be watching, if I end up making some weird plays. But this is Vintage Doomsday. Let's go play. Okay, on the play for round number one. Let's see what we get. I am going to keep this hand. It casts Ancestral Recall. And and we're up against a Luris deck. I think that probably means that we're we're kind of sad about that. Like I think Luris means like Esper colors and just sort of like a blue control tempo-y kind of deck, but we'll see. I think they also play Saga. I'm gonna do the this is one vintage heuristic I have picked up, which is the cast Ancestral Recall on your opponent's turn during their upkeep. Look at this assembly of like all-time badass blue legacy band cards. Ancestral Recall, Treasure Cruise, and Gush. This is also a format where our basic lands are unsafe because Strip Mine is a card. Alright, I'm going to target myself with Ancestral Recall and see if we're allowed to draw 3. We're not. They force of will. Okay. Well, at least we can ponder. And what was pitched here? It was Treasure Cruise. Okay. They bobble themselves, meaning they have a fetch land in hand, I suppose. And they did not like what was on top of their deck. Okay. Well, now I would like to find something that makes black mana and or counter spells. Volcanic Island. Okay, so it's not Esper. Tameo Inquisitive Student. You got it. And a White Mox. Interesting sequencing there. They're drawing a random card. Lotus? No, okay, it's Ponder. Ponder for Black Lotus? Pretty please. Yeah, we're not keeping this. Let's shuffle Thassa's Oracle, Gitaxian Probe, and Necropotence. Draw Misty Rainforest. That's kind of nice. And I am going to fetch Underground Sea here and just cast my second Ponder. Like this says, right, when you attack, you get to create a clue, so they eventually can start drawing cards with this, or they can flip it if they have like Recall or even a Brainstorm. Dark Ritual. Okay. I mean, yeah, let's keep this. And next turn we can, like, we can just win if they can't interact with us, if they haven't got like another counterspell. But if they do, we can then, like, on the next turn we can Demonic Tutor for Black Lotus, and then Black Lotus with our second Doomsday. Okay, so they got their clue token. They have another bauble, so they get, if they bauble us, they get to see Demonic Tutor, which is a shame. Yeah, I maybe should have thought about that, played around it. They could be seeing Dark Ritual right now, which is a card they're going to be seeing next turn anyways. But now with this information, okay, they're drawing a card. I think that's a desperation. Oh crap! Tell you what, I'm going to Gush in response. This kind of means giving up the ghost of winning next turn. This saves our Underground Sea, and means we can Dark Ritual Doomsday next turn. We could also... No, we can't Treasure Cruise quite yet. So this is a good question, right? Do we just go for it here, where we can't actually keep going? I think we do. Let's see if they found another counterspell. Okay, looks like they didn't. So we already have a Thassa in hand. So ideally, next turn, if we draw Ancestral Recall, Black Lotus, we can put a Force of Will in there, and then maybe even the Gush. All right, so tell you what we can do here is, like next turn, let me just think. Okay, so they could Wasteland us, and if they do, then we can just decide not to try and play around another counterspell. But if they don't Wasteland us, we can draw for turn. We can draw the we can draw the Ancestral Recall. Then we can make our land drop the island. We can cast Ponder, looking for grabbing the Force of Will. Then we cast Ancestral Recall. Recall will draw Black Lotus. Right now it'll draw Gush and Street Wraith. That doesn't really make any sense. Maybe a Flusterstorm. So let's just see here. We have 5 cards. Draw Step draws 1 card. Ponder draws another card. And Recall draws the last 3. So we don't need Street Wraith either. Maybe the second Oracle, just cause. We can put second Oracle on the bottom, and then like Flusterstorm, Lotus, Force, blah blah blah. Let's try that. I haven't experienced this when it's flipped. I hope it doesn't do anything that messes with Doomsday. Return target instant sorcery, graveyard your hand, so they can return a Force of Will if they want to. That is if they flip it. Okay. They are digging for whatever. Wastelands or counterspells, I'm guessing. They do not shuffle, so they like what they found. Lavinia here would also be quite terrifying. Oh no, I spoke it into existence. Right on, okay. So now we need them to not find a wasteland. Yeah, what's the play here? I guess I just recall here. Or do I? I can't Force of Will anymore. I can I can Flusterstorm, but what would I be Flusterstorming here? Uh, I think I do recall now. I don't know that they'd be playing Force of Negation here. And I guess we just pass the turn. Damn, Lavinia. I think I just, what's the thing here? Probably Doomsday. Discard the Doomsday. And now, like, if they have a counterspell. Okay, no Wasteland, but if they have a counterspell, I'm dead, because, I can't protect. I can't protect Thassa. Damn, Lavinia. Here's Bauble. So, good news for us right now. They can't hardcast Force of Will as things stand. They're drawing with the clue. They've also made their land drop, so they can't wasteland us. Merchant Scroll. I don't think so. Flusterstorm your Merchant Scroll. Excuse me. Alright. Hopefully that's good enough. Hopefully the last two cards in their hand are not Force of Will and blue card, or Daze. Oh, yeah, they had a draw stored. I forgot about that. Well, here we go. Fingers crossed. Yay, we're in. Cool. That was close. It kind of felt uncomfortably so. Okay. I really dislike Lavinia, so I really want like my 3 black removal spells. And I think Shieldred is probably pretty good here. So I want these 5 cards. Don't know that I want anything else. I think we can cut the top deck tutors. I don't know. Do we cut a Thassa's Oracle? Is there anything else that is like obviously suspect? Like cutting an Oracle makes the money consultation quite a bit worse. So maybe that's no good. What like here is again like I think where I would appreciate or it would be good to learn some heuristics here. Like do you cut street wraiths before you start cutting preordains, for instance? This doesn't seem like a super fast matchup, so I think the blue delve spells are probably like really really decent. I'm not sure Time Walk does that much for us. Though I don't know in what matchup Time Walk does like a lot for us. It just seems like this incidentally pretty good blue value card in this deck. We're not like playing Monastery Mentor or anything that really benefits from that. Is Necropotence insane here or not so much? Okay, I'm gonna cut a couple of preordains, and I'm probably gonna cut Force of Negation. Actually, oops. So go like that. So maybe I'll cut 1 preordain and 1 street wraith just to even it out. Okay, let's try this. Okay, I mean we have Dark Ritual, Doomsday, and some other spells. I'm gonna accept this. Opponent also like their 7. Would be nice to find some kind of protection here, and now opponent knows what's up. Damn you, Probe. I hate you, but damn it, do I miss you. Okay, so they're not, at least until they drop a Mox Sapphire or Lotus, they're not representing Flusterstorm, so they're looking for a hard, like a pitch counter right now, or maybe they have one, who knows. If I can find Force of Will in the top 2 cards, I'd be really excited about that. They don't shuffle. And they have Probe, or Bauble rather. So now they get to see what's on top of my deck. Green Mox, okay. Alright, they're drawing a card. Shieldred, that's nice. Okay, I'm gonna cycle the Street Wraith. Oh, wow. Alright, I guess we'll get to see. Unless they have Mental Misstep, that'd be kind of annoying. Alright, so they have Force of Will, Force of Negation, and Dig Through Time. Okay, how do we want to proceed with that? I really don't know. Like, I feel like it's it's wrong to just like to go Dark Ritual Doomsday that would 2 for 2, but then they can Wasteland our Underground Sea, and they're left with probably Force of Will, needing just to find a blue card. They would need to keep Force of Will because they probably can't afford us to play Shouldered. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna make my land drop and say go here. Unfortunately, that we didn't draw anything good off the probe. We drew the Thassa's Oracle. I hope they don't play Wasteland here because I want to play Undercity Sewers, but they probably should play Wasteland unless they drew like a Saga. Okay, they play Scalding Tarn. Interesting. Maybe they want to Surveil. Undercity Sewers. Oh, another Dark Ritual, huh? I think I'll keep this. And then I think I will Time Walk. There's a pause here. What's the pause? Okay, no pause. Maybe they could have drawn Surgical Extraction, and right now they're just thinking if they should be shuffling my deck just to not let me have what I just surveilled to the top. But yeah, let's see. This Time Walk doesn't do a lot, so maybe I'm not supposed to play it out. I would actually kind of be stoked if they want to throw a Force of Negation after it. Yeah, it sucks that they can then Wasteland me next turn and I can't like. Okay, Force of Negation is gone. All right, let's see. I'm very much assuming I'm gonna get Wastelanded here. This does feel a little like light on interaction, like no dazes. Kind of, yeah. There's not a lot of 0 mana interaction, basically, I guess is what I'm saying. Okay, there's the Wasteland. They take out my Undercity Sewers. Do they follow it up with anything? I guess they can dig through time now, which is pretty powerful. Yeah, kind of looks like what's happening. Yep. So we're gonna need to catch up now. We're gonna need like the top of our deck and probably Brainstorm to be really cooperative. Though if I do find like if I just draw Force of Will right now, I think I'm just gonna like Ritual Shieldred. Play could be Ritual Doomsday, of course, but okay. There's a Mox Jet. Wow, okay, so we go 2, 4, 6 mana. No, 3, sorry, 3, 5, 7 mana, so that is actually both Doomsday and Shieldred. 1 becomes 3, becomes 5, becomes 7. Okay, I'm gonna try. Oh, what's this? Their ping costs. Is this Mental Misstep? Okay, looks like Dark Ritual gets resolved. Okay, I'm gonna cast the second one. They could like try and force this, but that I don't think would make a lot of sense. They know my hand, except for the Dark Ritual and the Thassa. So they know that I have both Doomsday and Shouldered. So if they want to force of will something here, they probably should. Okay, I'm gonna cast Doomsday. I think that's what I would prefer to get forced. Oh shit! They just allowed that. Um. Wow, crazy. Uh. Okay, now I'm concerned. Okay, I don't know what do you do here? I guess probably a second Thassa is desirable. Does this mean they have some like torpor orb effect, dress down or something? I think I might just want to cast Shoulder It right now. But that's neither here nor there. I think I need to like be able to play around Lavinia, which means like, lands. Hang on, Flusterstorm. Do we really care about like? Do we need Flusterstorm? Maybe like we want to get rid of the Thassa and add a basic island as well. Yeah. I mean, I could also add removal to play around Lavinia, but okay. Put the two lands on the bottom, and then we go probably like I'd probably even take like drawing the Scalding Tarn over the Ancestral in case they wasteland me. Alright, let's see if they want to force Shouldered. They probably do, but then that's a force they don't have, so hopefully that's good. If they let this resolve, I'm assuming it's because they have like a plow or something, some way to answer it. Okay, there's force pitching Tamio. Okay. So there are two cards in their hand we don't know about, and we've seen Moxjet and Tamio as the other cards we didn't know. Disruptor Flute. Yep, okay, that'll do it. They had an annoying kind of Torpor Orb-ish effect. Okay, cool. I'll need to factor that in for game number 3. I don't know that I want to change anything here, so I'm just going to submit. Alright, on the play for the final game here of round number 1. Let's hope for a good one. Yeah, this seems pretty good. I think I'm going to start off by fetching Basic Island and casting Ponder. I think it's worth not like getting gotten by Wasteland here. And they could have their one of Strip Mine, but the chances are certainly lower. I don't know that I don't think you're supposed to bring in Steel Sabotage in the case of the like blue control deck having Disruptor Flute, but I could be wrong. Okay, they found 6 they like. Let's cast Ponder. There's also the world where we keep open like Flusterstorm plus Mental Misstep, but I think that's playing it too safe. I think we want to hit lands. Yeah, that's perfect. Let's put Shoulder It on the bottom and draw this Flooded Strand. And pass. So if they bobble us, they're going to see Underground Sea. There's Flooded Strand and a Mox Pearl. Or we're going to get a Lavinia. That's good. I think that's decent play right there. Ponder. I don't think Ponder is where I point my Mental Misstep at. They shuffle. Now I probably would. I think I'm actually going to point it at this probe. I think I'd rather them not know the contents of my hand. Merchant Scroll, sure. Probably gets Ancestral Recall. All right. Luckily, they didn't have Mox Sapphire to fire it off here. I'm gonna just gonna play Underground Sea and pass because I want to draw the Shieldred, and I think there's a chance I need to tap both my lands this turn. So if they recall us or recall right now, and I brainstorm, then it's storm 2, and then I fluster, then it's storm 3. Recall, brainstorm, fluster, yeah, then they can still pay for it. It's kind of unfortunate. Maybe we get lucky and they cast something before Ancestral Recall. Treasure Cruise. Okay, I'm gonna brainstorm in response. If they cast Recall in response to this, that's kind of interesting. Okay, they don't. Yeah, let's put back I don't know, land and cut down. And their treasure cruise can resolve, unfortunately. And they're just passing. Okay, cool. Let's try and time walk. I think I probably should have stacked cut down underneath the fetch land because if I have to fetch now, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So I think I probably just fetch 2 Underground Seas and cast Doomsday. And then we see what happens. If they force, then that's a force they don't have, and it's like they go down a card to do that. If they fluster, then ew. If they Ancestral Recall here, we can fluster in response. So there's a long pause. They clearly have like something they can do here, which I mean, obviously we know about the Ancestral, but I think I get the feeling that they have a counterspell, but maybe they also have like I don't know, Disruptor Flute or something, and they're considering if they should just let this resolve like last game. The difference is now I'm sitting on 4 lands right now, which means the Disruptor Flute can kind of like lose steam versus that many lands. Obviously, we would need at least 1 more mana to be able to put Thassa on the stack through a flute. Yeah, okay, so let's see. Thassa, Ancestral Recall, those seem like good ones. We also have to be mindful that they have a recall of their own here, which they can then, like, they can use to kill us with. So, mustn't fall for that. I don't know, I could also just, like have both Thassas there? I don't know. What happens if I draw Gitaxian Probe, like put Probe on the stack, and then if they Ancestral Recall, then I don't have to Ancestral Recall, but if I then get to draw my Ancestral Recall, which would be the top card after Probe, then they Ancestral me, and then I fluster the Ancestral. That would be Probe, Ancestral, Ancestral, so 3, and then Storm 4. But they just need one. They just need to have 1 land up to not like to win there. But then, all right, we could do something here. Okay, this would be pretty interesting. Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't work because I need the probe. Right, I need the probe. So no force. How about a second fluster? And where are you? Gitaxian Probe. No, was that exiled? Was that this game? Oh, no. Here it is. All right, how would this look? So my top card is is a Gitaxian Probe. I draw that for turn. Then I probe. Let's say that resolves. I then draw Ancestral Recall. There are 3 cards in my deck. There is Black Lotus, Flusterstorm, and Thassa. I have one untapped, three untapped lands, four untapped lands, right? So I cast my Ancestral Recall, 3 cards in deck. They Ancestral Recall me in response, or they don't. But if they do, then I just let that resolve, draw my 3 cards. I can then Flusterstorm my own recall. Yeah, that seems kind of cool. Let's see. There's a lot of stuff that could still just go terribly wrong here. So we want Black Lotus and Thassa and the Fluster. Maybe not in that order. So recall second from the top and then Gitaxian Probe. All right, let's go. Let's see what they can do. Kind of hoping that they don't do anything in my end of turn. Like flash in some threat here. That would be kind of scary. Like, oh no, they're doing stuff. No! Seek. Okay, you're seeking the beast. What was that? What was exiled? Force of Will and Tropical Island. So they can use that until their next turn, right? Okay. Until the end of their next turn. But then the force is not going to be on for my turn, right? That's how that works. Until your next end step. Yeah, okay. So I have 4 mana, and with Lotus, that's 7. I would need 5 to cast Thassa through a Flute. So if they have Flute plus... Okay, no, they're just casting this on themselves. All right. Interesting. Yeah, I mean that's also pretty good. Here I was like convinced they were gonna like try and get me with the draw. Lavinia, okay. I have cut down for Mrs. Lavinia. And now they're kind of tapped low in terms of like my Flusterstorm. They haven't made a land drop, so I'm hoping they don't wasteland me. They have that tropical island they can play. Oh, there is a wasteland. Okay. So I have 6 mana now, which means I only get to use 1 mana if I want to kill, or rather if I want to resolve Thassa through a flute. But I'm gonna start with a cut down on Lavinia. Let's see if they let that resolve. If they like, I think I have to fight over this because this is what lets me cast my Lotus. So if they force here, I will have to Fluster and then hope that's good enough. This art is so weird. I kind of dig it. This has been such a slog. I kind of hope the rest of the league isn't like this. We're down to like 6 and 8 minutes respectively. I don't think like the games have been that complicated or feel like the games each game have been very long. I guess I've resolved Doomsday in all 3 games, and I spent a lot of time narrating. But yeah, this feels like somehow the time's just disappeared. And my opponent is taking their sweet time deciding on this cut down here. So what will it be? Could be that they want a Disruptor Flute and like just Disruptor Flute this in before Lavinia dies, so they can be sure that I can't Force of Will the flute or something. Okay, Lavinia's dead. I'm gonna probe. Uh, that was also something that couldn't happen as long as Lavinia was alive. Okay, so they have shit. They're just dead. They have force and a blue card. Okay, so I'm gonna ancestral recall myself, and I'm gonna force of rather flusterstorm the force of will, that which is certainly gonna happen right now. And then I will draw Black Lotus, Flusterstorm, and Thassa's Oracle. And that should do it. Let's see if I'm able to work with my brain here. There is Thassa, there is the trigger, and we win! Alrighty, cool. Let's hope for some quicker games, please. Alright, I'll be back with round number 2. Okie dokie. On the draw for round number 2, with a hand that has Doomsday in it and some lands and spells, I'm going to keep. We're lacking protection and fast mana. Oh, and it's against the Bazaar deck. Interesting. Oh no, and we get griefed as well. Gross. Yeah, this is, I think, where I feel the most out of my element when I'm playing Vintage, because the Bazaar, because Bazaar of Baghdad is a pillar in Dredge and kind of its own archetype. Um, in Vintage, like it both is like this. Okay, so this is Dredge, but there's also like Bazaar decks that play like the Madness cards. And look at this. They hit a bridge. And they took my Doomsday. Yeah, okay, crazy. So, I know that some of these play, maybe all of them play. Oh, look what I would have drawn. Oh, it's unbearable. Okay, I'm going to start with a probe here. I know some of them, if not all of them, play like pitch counter magic. So they have Force of Negation and Narcomoeba. Right. Uh, I'm not sure. I don't know like, how much how much under pressure I am. Probably like a decent amount. Okay, so I'm at 18. I'm at, as a minimum, taking 2 more next turn. I'll be at 16. 15 with a fetch land. Then I cast Demonic Tutor. Then I pass again. And they... Yeah, okay. I think I am just going to hope to not get discarded again and hope that they Bazaar themselves to a point where they have to like put the Force of Negation into the graveyard. So let's see if they can just dredge stuff that comes back. Like how I always forget how this works. When a creature enters the battlefield, if it entered from your graveyard, or you cast it from your graveyard, you can put this back. Okay, and now they hit an Icarid as well. Okay, so they draw with Bazaar. So their hand, now we know their hand. They draw 2, and then... Oh gosh, I'm just getting murdered here, I think. So much is happening. I'm just not used to playing against Vintage Dredge. Okay, I get hit by a Creeping Chill. They have a Force of Negation in their hand. And the question for me then is, how fast can they, like, how much damage can they deal me next turn? They have 2 Icarids. And they get to just dredge everything, right? So they can hit, how many? They pitched a Creeping Chill, and there's one in exile. That was the one that just triggered. So they have 2 more Creeping Chills. I don't know. We will see. I'm going to need to be at 6 life when I put Doomsday on the stack, because I need, as it is right now, I need to be able to cast or cycle Street Wraith. Okay, so let's hit Undercity Sewers. How about a Doomsday? How about we don't take a land? And Doomsday! No, Force of Will. Okay, I mean, we don't really have any other plays, I don't think, than just Demonic Tutor for Doomsday. I've not seen Cabal Therapy. Is that a card they don't play? I mean, they can probably put the rest of their deck into the graveyard next turn with the two bizarre activations in their draw step. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I feel like I'm super dead, but we'll see. 2 Icarids, that's 6 damage, plus 2 from the zombie, that's 8. So that's already too much. I'll be at 2 after Doomsday. And if they hit more Creeping Chills, then I'm just dead, I guess. Didn't hit a Creeping Chill, but they hit the Cabal Therapy. How many Cabal Therapies? If they hit one more here, yeah, okay. Never mind. I'm out. Out. Out, 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 out. Okay. So I think for this matchup, we obviously have the 4 Leyline of the Void. We also have, what do you call it? We have the Tabernacle, which I think they have a hard time beating. So, not sure there's anything else here. And what don't we want? Like, they have counter magic, so like Flusterstorm is kind of good for us. Maybe like Necropotence is too slow. And maybe like Treasure Cruise as well. I'll keep I'll keep the Dig Through Time, just like one of them. But I don't know, maybe I'm also supposed to like slow down and be more of a control deck here with my Leyline plan. I don't know. I'll shave a Street Wraith and a Preordain like in the previous matchup, and I guess Force of Negation's not bad, right? Although I don't know, maybe it is because their enablers are all the Bazaars, so maybe like counter magic isn't even that good. I mean, counter magic should be used defensively to protect my combo, or I guess that would make it on offensively. I'm gonna try this, see how we go. I went and sought refuge in Vintage, and even there I got griefed. No, maybe that's a bit harsh. Yeah, this seems good. Have a leyline, have a decent hand. Let's put the leyline into play. And they could have like Force of Vigor or something else that stops the leyline. I should have looked through their graveyard more. I didn't. I don't know if they had wastelands. And I also don't know if I'm supposed to just like Mystical Tutor for Ancestral, or if I'm better off like trying to filter my draws with a Preordain. I think I will do that. I think I like both of these, to be honest. I'll stack it so I'll draw the Flusterstorm next turn. Okay, so I mean, obviously they know people play Leyline of the Void, so I'm assuming they have answers for that. Okay, so they exile some cards. I guess they're drawing towards their thing. I think I am going to Mystical Tutor for Ancestral next turn, or on their end step. So I always keep up Flusterstorm. I mean, it could be that their answer to Leyline is something like Wispmare or some other like evoke creature. What's the green one? I forget. I played it briefly in that Necro Dominance deck. Okay, let's Mystical Tutor, and let's get. Yeah, I forget Mystical Tutor. It's not blue, not only blue. I could get Doomsday. No, I think I'm getting the Ancestral. Maybe that's sort of the uninspired take. And I'm gonna fire it off now. Force of Vigor. Okay, I'm gonna fluster the Force of Vigor. Then if they have Force of Will on my Ancestral, so be it. Okay, that was good enough. Does anything change here? Probably not, right? Have to, like, if I can get a hand that has a leyline and a protection spell, then I'd be pretty interested in that. Wow, I don't know. So like this hand has amazing vintage cards. It doesn't have Doomsday and it doesn't have a Leyline. I think I'm gonna mulligan this. Is this insane? Should I not even consider mulliganing here? I feel like I kind of have to go for Leyline because their deck is so explosive. Like they're gonna mulligan until they have Bazaar, and then if I don't have a Leyline, am I just like dead to that? Actually, no. I can't mulligan this. Please let me know in the comments. I don't know. This feels too bad to mulligan. But then what? Like if they just grief me again? Oh, I already regret it. No. Okay, they exile 6 cards with a 0 serum powder. 2 Narcomoebas. That might not be completely irrelevant. They were down to 5. I'd like to see them go lower, but I don't know that it matters that much. Okay, they found 5. How about no grief, huh? Strip mine. Okay. Empiric tutor. Okay, I'm gonna probe them here. So they didn't have a Bazaar. Okay, I suddenly feel like a lot better. What's in your hand? Force of will, force of vigor, and Bazaar Baghdad. Okay. Um. Okay, I'm gonna float my underground sea here. If they don't wait, if they strip mine me in my turn, I'm gonna vamp tutor. If they don't, I'm gonna ancestral recall before they can draw a card. Okay, suddenly feel a lot better here. There's the Bazaar, they use it. Put away Force of Vigor. And now they cast Hollow One? Sure. I'm assuming they're gonna strip mine me now, right? Or is the strip mine just to not lose to Tabernacle? Yeah, it looks like it is. Okay. Let's see. So if I vamp tutor here and then cycle the Street Wraith, then if they strip mine me in response, then I can't gush after Doomsday. Actually, hang on, that's a load of nonsense. They can just strip mine me with Doomsday on the stack, right? I still think it's probably the correct play. And I think I can also, if I double Dark Ritual here off of Mox Jet, I also get to vamp tutor, and then like I can, if I don't have to force of will, or even if I do have to force of will, I can pitch the gush, and then I can just like ponder and then draw ancestral because I'll have 2 open blue mana. Whereas if I had just Dark Ritual once and Doomsdayed, like for Doomsday here, I guess I'm also doing things in the weird, backwards way around. But I hope what I'm saying kind of makes sense here. Okay, so we put Doomsday on the stack. Is this when you strip mine me? The force pitch prized amalgam. And now I think I force back pitching gush, like I just alluded to. Because, well, they ended up not using their strip mine, but they could have. Okay, so I'm gonna ponder into Ancestral Recall. Ancestral Recall into Black Lotus, Thassa's Oracle, and another Street Wraith. And then I'll put Flusterstorm on the bottom. It doesn't matter, they're Hellbent. But might as well play correctly. And where's Flusterstorm? There we go. Alright. So yeah, that seems to check out. So we'll put Fluster on the bottom, and I guess like Ancestral just needs to be in the top 3 cards. Okay, and they can see, sure. All right, cool. 2-0. Great start. Let's go for round number 3. All right, on the play for round number 3. Double Oracle in hand is kind of rough, but yeah, this is almost, I don't know. Like, Dig Through Time, obviously powerful, but not for many turns. We have Doomsday, and we have, I don't know, I'm going to keep this, but I feel like it's kind of not great. You'll also notice I'm like 5 minutes or so, or 4 minutes behind the clock on my opponent, because I just had to take a phone call between rounds, and I had already queued, and so there we are. But hopefully, I mean, we're playing a fast deck. Hopefully, it won't end up biting me in the butt. All right, opponent is taking heavy mulligans, so this might be another bizarre deck. Okay, so they kept 5. I feel like I need to play Undercity Sewers tapped here, get my Surveil, and have access to 2 mana next turn. I'll bottom a Preordain, or not bottom. Surveil away a Preordain, I suppose, is the correct terminology. Just one of these oracles was like, I feel like saying literally any other card. I guess not another Doomsday, but okay. Underground Sea, Sensei's Top. So this is like a Breach deck or a Tinker deck, probably like Boros Citadel kind of thing. Okay, I'm gonna fetch before I cast Preordain, because if there are like 2 good cards here and one of them is like, I don't know, a Flusterstorm or a Ponder or something else that I want to use my mana on, then I want to be able to do that. Oh. Well, I mean, both of these are good, but I'm kind of choked on mana right now. You know, I'll probably put Ponder away and then take Demonic Tutor. I feel like cycling the Street Wraith right now, that might be folly. Time Walk, okay. Well, we're working our way up towards Dig Through Time. Okay, so opponent brainstorms. If this is a combo deck, then I am just woefully underprepared right now. But they did mull to 5, so they are likely light on resources. Okay. I think I'm gonna Time Walk here. Does that even do anything? It gets me closer towards Dig Through Time. I don't know, this feels very anemic, this Time Walk, and also like very vulnerable. But it did just resolve. Okay, make my land drop, and let's pass. Treasure Cruise. Do I just Demonic Tutor for an Ancestral Recall here? I could also like go for a Force of Will, I guess. Or I could go for a Lotus. Make some blue mana, but then I can only cast one of these. Or I guess like Lotus for black mana, and then I cast Treasure Cruise, but that exiles my Lotus. I could also just get a Force of Will. Yeah, I think I actually like just getting Force of Will here. And then next turn I can like Dig Through Time or Cruise with Force backup. I could also just put Doomsday on the stack, have Force backup, see what happens. Okay, Sensei's Top. I could be completely wrong about them being a combo deck. It's just like the Sensei's Top makes me feel like the only like card I know in Vintage that really plays well, or that has the most gross synergy, is Boros, or whatever it's called, the Citadel. But this is Oath. Okay. And I guess I don't really care that much about Oko. But now, of course, they can Oath, and we can't really do anything about it. So I need to draw, like Gush would be my best draw. Basic Island is also decent enough. Okay, I think I'm just going to, I'm gonna dig through time on their next turn. I think I just don't attack here, so if they elk this food, I can chump block. And if they put Oath on the stack, I think I just let it resolve. Because, yeah, they elked that. I just let Oath resolve, though, because they need a full turn cycle, and I plan to win. Maybe I'll dig through time before I do anything. Before I let Oath resolve, I mean. Okay, they looked with top. Man, I really, really miss playing with Sensei's Dividing Top. That may be a weird thing to say or a controversial thing, but I never really played Miracles, but I played Top in Doomsday and in Storm, and it is like an incredibly sort of fun and what's the word? Like a card that really inspires you and makes you feel clever, maybe even if you're not, but like, like drawing a card in response to a spell, blah blah blah. Okay, so they drew a card with their top and they're casting Flash. So I think Flash is a card I'm not really allowed to let them cast here. So I'm gonna dig through time. Like Flash, I think just basically puts Atraxa into play, which is not game over, but does refill their hand. And let's see here. They force, huh? What was it? Was another Oko? Okay. So I think I force the Flash. I think I pitch a Thassa. Or maybe just maybe the cruise actually, because I'm gonna be a million miles away from casting it. And going like Oracle the turn after Doomsday seems reasonable. Okay. Oh, but I just win. I mean, unless if they have another force, then but they wouldn't have, right? Well, maybe they would, because they have Atraxa, so they could have another like force here, which would be kind of gross. Okay, looks like they don't. So I will Gush. I'll pick up Ancestral Recall and Force of Will, and then I will draw the Lotus and the. I have the last Thassa, so I guess it could be like Fluster and I don't know, another force maybe. So let's just see here. Gush picks up Recall and Force. Recall is cast off the island. I can force to protect it, and then I draw Lotus, Fluster, another force, and I have Lotus to resolve my last Thassa. So let's put Fluster and Force on the bottom, and then Lotus and Force, and then Recall. Yeah. Casting Gush here. That was a pretty good draw. Okay, we were allowed to draw Ancestral Recall. Now they're casting Mental Misstep. Yeah, I don't think so. And what a wonderful world it would be And we cast the Oracle, and that should be it. Okay, sideboarding wise versus Oath. I don't really know what is good here. Like, I want to say Shouldered, but probably not, right? I don't think Leyline stops Oath of Druids. I would have to check. But nah, I've never heard that anyone, like, have Leylines as a tech to Oath. So maybe, like, my main deck is just, like, decently enough set up as it is. Like, normally I would say Shouldered is pretty good, but if, like, Shouldered enables Oath, which is kind of sucks. Yeah, Leyline doesn't stop Oath. I mean, Shouldered isn't nothing, right? They need to respect the Shouldered, at least to some degree, like, or she can muck things up. But then again, no, like, Oko is pretty good versus Shouldered. I don't know. I think I actually just like my main deck here. Could they be playing some kind of hate bear? I don't think they're playing white. They could be. I think I'm actually just gonna resubmit here. Let me know if that's completely nuts. Holy cannoli. Okay. So this seems like a hand I ought to keep, right? So we have 7 mana. We can, oh, bummer. Now they know the jig is up. But, like, we can go triple Dark Ritual, that's 7 mana, then Demonic Tutor down to 5. And then what do we get? Mox Jet. Okay, and they're just passing. Well, now we could Demonic Tutor for, like, Force of Will. We are expending our entire hand here. How about Dark Ritual? I'll lead on that. And then probably second Dark Ritual. And then I'll cast Demonic Tutor. And if it resolves, I'll get a Force of Will. Okay. Is that the correct play here? I always, like, whenever Demonic Tutor ends up resolving, unless it's, like, very clearly getting Doomsday, I always kind of like, well, I mean, the whole deck is here. I could get anything I wanted. No, I think I am getting a Force. And then the question is, do I save my Dark Ritual? Or do I, like, play as though I have... No, I think I just cast Doomsday now. If they had Mental Misstep, that would actually just suck. Mind Break Trap. Yeah, okay. Guess I'll Force. I'm not expecting this to end up well for me. And I'm not emergency cycling the Street Wraith here if they have something else, because I don't think there's anything I can draw. Well, my Force of Will and their Mind Break Trap resolved, but now there's a... Oof, what? Really? How interesting. What's the thing? What's the take here? I could, like, Street Wraith into Probe and probe them, and then see, like, if the coast is clear, kind of thing. I think I want my bottom 3 cards to be Lotus, Flusterstorm, and Thassa. And maybe the top 2 cards be, like, Probe. No, see. This doesn't work if I want Probe. Because it'll draw for, like, itself. It will draw. So, and I'm passing the turn no matter what. So if I want to Ancestral, then the card I wraith into can't be a probe. I guess it could be a land, just like in case, I don't know if they randomly play like Wasteland or something. Could be basic island. Is that a thing? And ancestral. So we have Street Wraith, which draws us the basic island. Then we untap, we draw Ancestral Recall, which draws us the rest of the deck, and then we just hope that's good enough. I'm going to try this. I'm not super confident. Like, if their hand was basically, if they kept it just on the strength of Mindbreak Trap, that's a little bit, that's interesting. I'll put Fluster on the bottom, then Thassa, then Black Lotus, and then Ancestral, and then Island, I guess. Okay. The cool thing is if they draw like a Flusterstorm here, or if for some reason they were sitting on it and didn't want to use it on the Doomsday, then if I untap and I cycle draw both the island and the ancestral, I can then ancestral, they fluster storm 2, and then I can like cast Dark Ritual. If they have something like Orcish Bowmasters, that's kind of bad, but not unbeatable. If they have an ancestral of their own, then I think they just have me. And maybe they're vamp tutoring. Yeah. Wonder what they're getting. Probably not something nice for me. Maybe the play was actually for me to put Mental Misstep, because that is the one counterspell that actually would work here. But I don't know. I didn't think about that. I didn't see that line. But I could have put that instead of the island. I don't really expect them to kill my land here, so. Well, it's taking them a while to decide here, so I take a little bit of heart to that. It's not like an obvious thing here. But if they have Flash or a Show and Tell plus a land, and then they just get a Traxa, I probably lose, because then they get to completely fill up here. There's a land, they fetch. Is this Show and Tell? Yeah. Oh, it's Tinker. Interesting. Yeah, well, I mean, I can't do anything, so Tinker away. They get Bolas, not Boros. Bolas is Citadel. Okay. Maybe I should cycle Street Wraith and play my island, but I don't think it matters. Nope. You have Oath of Druids. Really? Is that it? They have one card in hand? Really? I guess they could have like a Force of Will on top. They could just be able to keep going here, I guess. Let's see. I also think I punted. I think I put Thassa second from the bottom. I think she should be third from the bottom, but I could be misremembering. Okay. Recall, here we go. Do you have a recall of your own? Or anything that counters this floating on top of the deck? Okay, they had a Force of Will. Sure. And now they have the Orchard. Dang. Okay. I suppose sideboard tech could be to have, like, I don't know. Yeah, I am just gonna I'm just gonna let them oath off here. We'll get to see some cards in their deck, I guess. Not sure it can fizzle. Maybe it can, like, if it's their bottom card. I'm sure they have, like, an answer to that. Okay. Oh, so kind of you to make me a thing. Okay, here we go. Both triggers. They find a Traxa. I'm gonna look at what was revealed here. Bunch of stuff. Dismiss all. Okay, I want to see what a Traxa reveals. Well, there is Force of Will and a blue card. So I am just gonna concede, because I can't beat that. All right. Cool, cool. They resolved Tinker and they won the game. That's usually how that works. I don't think I I move away from my plan here, right? I didn't see anything that really would convince me to do anything else here. They could have boarded out their Okos because, it's Oko and this is a combo mirror, but and so the Shieldred may be a little bit better, but it's also just like enabling their oath just doesn't seem like where I want to be. Okay, let's see if we can get a good hand here. Nope, have to mulligan this. No lands. This has mana and some forces. I'll keep this, and I'll probably bottom the Street Wraith. Opponent kept 7. That's annoying, but what can you do? This is what the unrestriction of Ponder gave us. Multiple Ponders, and was that fine? It probably was. I haven't heard anyone complaining about it, but I don't pay that much close attention to vintage sort of discourse, so forgive me if I speak out of turn. Okay, let's cast a Ponderino. Good long pause here. Maybe they have a misstep. I'll take these. Yeah. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have drawn the the Vamp Tutor. I just remember they showed me Thoughtseize. I There was practically no cost to me, like drawing the Tarn and then drawing a Vamp Tutor next turn. Mana Crypt, strong. Yep, fuck me. Damn! That was such a punt! No! Okay, well, yeah. Okie doke. I'm going to I'm going to fetch and then ponder. If I had taken the Street Wraith and put that on top of the Tarn, I could have like pondered with a fetch land up. But as it is, I didn't want to see that. Ooh, good stuff. I think I want to just try and draw all of these. Was my read correct that they have mental misstep and they were just considering using that on my ponder? Guess I'll find out. Nope, they didn't. Okay. Is this the game where we end up dark ritualing out a Street Wraith and just killing them with beats and their mana crypt? Brainstorm. Okay. Not gonna force that. Wow. Is Brainstorm Lock a thing in Vintage? You don't have a shuffler? Okay, I'm gonna at least cycle one of these Street Wraiths. How about a good one? I guess I'll cycle the other one too. Give up on the cast Street Wraith dream. No! That's so... Oh, are you kidding me? Well, I mean, that was what I was gonna fetch for. Guess not. And I don't want a Dark Ritual. Well, that felt silly. Okay, so now they're drawing the first of 2 cards that they put back with their Brainstorm. They win their flip again, rascals. There's Orchard. Do you also have Oath? Alright, you can Fluster. Or rather, you can Thoughtseize me. What do you take here? Take the Flusterstorm. Okay. And what do we do here? Time Walk. Yeah, that's okay. Come on, lose a flip. Damn. Tinker, I mean, I'm gonna counter, you're gonna counter back, and then I've lost, I think? Yep. Don't see this going wrong for them. And they can even fetch here if they don't like what's on top. There's Oath. So if I were to draw Doomsday right now, does that do anything? Probably not, but let's see. Mental misstep. Must be nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna concede, move on with my life. GG's. Alright, on the draw for round number 4, against another Luris deck. I think I'm going to keep this. We are a little bit like clunky in our hand here and kind of need a land big time. Or like a counter spell of some sort. Soul Ring, okay. Is this Sensei's top? Oh, Vexing Bauble. Hey, that's actually interesting, right? That should mean I'm good to just put Doomsday on the stack here. It means I can't do any Black Lotus shenanigans. But I think I will cast Doomsday. And I'm gonna put a land to fetch just to as a way of getting through the pile. So I'm gonna put where is basic island. I don't know, maybe like another Thassa in case I get, I don't know, discarded. Is that a thing? Probably not. Yeah, I think actually I'm gonna like do some cycling here. Maybe Time Walk is even kind of interesting. But I probably also need another land in case they just like if they wasteland this land here. What am I doing? So what do I have here? I have 2 cyclers, a land. Like I guess Time Walk isn't that amazing because Street Wraith kind of does the same thing. I guess it also depends like how fast they can kill me because this is not a win here now play. I guess it could be like not here now, but like on my next turn. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a cycler. Yeah. I'm just gonna draw a couple of cyclers here and I'll try and put Thassa on the stack next turn. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Not sure what deck this is. What deck plays Vexing Bauble and Skull Clamp? Malevolent Hermit. Okay. This is non-creature spell, right? Yeah. Okay. Now they're sacking their bauble. I'm really kind of unsure what's going on here, but we'll see. So there's a volcanic island. Could mean they have Pyroblast or Lightning Bolt. Okay, so let's see here. Street Wraith cycles into Street Wraith. Then I fetch and I play Thassa and they probably Lightning Bolt it. And how sad am I then? I have another Thassa. I think I am gonna try that. I think we just also cycle this. We'll be at 6, meaning if they have double bolt. Well, if they have double bolt, they almost got us, right? But not quite. Because then one will have to be targeted at Thassa. Oh, they just said nothing. Interesting. What the heck kind of deck is this? So this equips for 1 mana. So they could have equipped here, drawn 2 cards. But I guess they wanted this in order to be able to counter my stuff. Interesting. I don't know. Like Skull Clamp, I think Shieldred might be okay here. Not sure I need anything else, or I'm not even really sure what I'm playing against here. Maybe I don't know. Should I cut Force of Negation? Might want to keep that in. This seems like a deck that is up to some shenanigans. I'm gonna board out the 2 top deck tutors. I don't know. I don't even know if they're playing like counter magic with Vexing Bauble, but I think it's probably safer to assume they are than not. Opponent mulligans to 6. It's like a legacy hand. I'm gonna keep it though. You never know. Maybe force blue card, it could be good enough. Am I supposed to just force a Vexing Bauble? Kind of seems like that would turn this hand into immediate junk. Like, I think it's better to just keep the Ponder. Okay. They mulligan. Oh, hang on. Oh, they've just conceded. They mulligan to 5 and conceded the game. Well, well, well. Yeah, I don't know. That's, I guess we'll never know what they were really planning to do. Okay, on to round number 5. Okay, on the play for the final round. Let's go. Yeah, this hand seems good. Another Luris deck. Okay. This isn't the same opponent, is it? No. Okay, opponent mulligans to 6. I think I'm supposed to go, like, preordain off of just Underground Sea here. Play with no fear of Wasteland. Strip mine. Opponent found 6 they like. Let's cast preordain. I think we want one of these lands. I'm gonna take the Delta so that we have a split. I don't know that Sorceress, Spyglass, or the likes get played, but you never know. When it's somewhat free. We have Polluted Delta. Wonder, does anyone ever play Stifle in Vintage? Nethergoyf. Okay. You have a 1/2. Treasure Cruise. Okay, so I think I'll pass here and fetch Undercity Sewers, and depending on what happens, I might just cast Doomsday next turn. Oh, I guess I won't. Let's float blue. Just make them respect us having something here. Okay, so they are attacking with the 1/2 here. We go to 19, and let's see here. I think I'm gonna fetch. This is where I get stifled. Just spoke it into existence. Okay, nah. Undercity Sewers. Yeah, I hate to just give up what I'm doing here, but I don't think I want a second copy of Doomsday. Oh, come on. You know what, actually? I am going to cast a Thoughtless Oracle. So this means I can't pitch cast the other one, pitch cast Force of Will with the other one, but I don't hate this. And if they want to, like, I can't imagine they would fight over this. If they did, that'd be kind of sweet. I think I actually want the land, and then I just want to start casting Doomsdays. Or at the very least cast one, and then I can I can like, if it gets countered, I can cast Treasure Cruise next turn. Ooh, Ancestral Recall. Ah! Okay, I'm gonna force. I'll force. Please don't force me back. And then all I have left are my Doomsdays. They had a force. Force, pitch, force. Okay. Yep. You have Ancestral. So please don't wasteland me again. Mox Emerald. Saga. Okay. I suppose I could have pitched Thassa number 2, and then just hoped to eventually, they would attack through my Oracle in play. DT. That doesn't bode well. This always feels like the worst feeling when your opponent in Vintage is casting Demonic Tutor. There is Black Lotus. I wonder if that was what they got. And is this a 3/4 now? Yeah, that's fine. I'm not gonna block. It doesn't matter. No, I don't think I block. I think I can wait. Okay, so maybe they have like a Flusterstorm or a Force of Negation or like Hull Breacher. I forget, what does Loris say? Is it 2 or 3 CMC? Each permanent has mana 2 less. Okay, so no Hull Breacher. Spell Pierce. Okay. No, I will not pay for Spell Pierce. Don't tell me dig through time. Okay, it's just cycling Lord Revealed. I suppose that's fine. Okay, so if nothing too terrible happens here, this is a 4/5 now. They beat me down to 8. I cast Doomsday. They make a construct. I chump block one of those creatures. Will I be alive by then? Yeah, I think I can't take this hit, or rather, I can't chump here, because then I'll be at 6 when I pass the turn, and they will just kill me. As it is, I think maybe they will just be able to kill me anyways, as things stand. I need like a Gush. Gush is my best draw here. I also need them to not have anything. Oh, Street Wraith. That was my second best draw. Well, let's see. Do you have more interaction here? No! Oh, gross. Okay, so what happens? They make a... I can't pay for it. They make a 2/2, then they untap, they make a 3/3 and get something that makes the unsummoning sick a 4/4. Meaning my Street Wraith is switched off by the time they are. I mean, I'm not dead yet. I could, like, if, say, Gush and Doomsday are the top 2 cards of my deck, there is a world where I live and win. Not sure what they get out of the Saga. If they get, like, the Lava Spur boots, then... Okay. They are making a friend. And what are they getting? Well, seems like it's not completely obvious. They're taking a little bit of time. They got, what, Mox Sapphire? Okay. Now their thingy is a 5/6 because of Urza's Saga. Okay, I'm going to chump block here. Come on. Doomsday or Gush. That's a Preordain. Okay, I'm going to cycle the Street Wraith. Don't know that can do it here, but let's see if maybe we find some vintage cards. Oh, Mental Misstep? Wow, okay. Yikes. Got destroyed there. Dark Ritual and Misstep, and then I would have bottomed those 2, drawn a Brainstorm. Tap my last land to draw 3. And dead. Okay. Wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, let's bring in Shieldred and maybe some removal, or I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's not really the way we want to go. Um, Nether Goyf. I think just Shieldred, and I'll board out the two Empiric Tutors. Actually, hang on. They might have like Lavinia or something. Yeah, they probably will do. I don't know that I saw white mana. Did I? Um, let's shave Preordain and a Street Wraith for a cut down and a fatal push, and move on with our lives. Against this type of an opponent, like this type of deck, I do kind of miss Cavern of Souls from Legacy, like Legacy Doomsday, because like if I were to cast Doomsday now and then win a counter war, but then be all like have one land in play, I'd be a little bit worried about passing the turn. Oh no. Oh, can you imagine if there's a land on top of the deck or a mana source? I have to mulligan this. I'll keep this, but it's not great. I think I'll bottom the cut down. Put in mulligan to 6 as well. Yeah, this is bad. We're both on 6. Let's start by cycling this Street Wraith. I mean, I could hardcast a Street Wraith if I thought a 3/4 Swamp Walker was good. Okay. Let's make blue with this Lotus and start cantripping. This is not ideal, but we don't want the Dark Ritual. Do we want the Treasure Cruise? I don't think so. Like we'll have 3 cards in the graveyard next, and then we ponder. We have 4, and then we're still like miles off. Yeah, let's put this away. Oh, that was good. I think I will cast Ponder though. If we find Doomsday here, we can cast it. There was a pause. Do they have like a minor misstep? Mental misstep? Which one is it? It's mental misstep, right? Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan these. And we find Mox Sapphire. I guess I play that out. Now, do I sit on my Underground Sea is the question. I think I do, because if they have Wasteland, and I were to draw any black card I would really want, then... Yeah, we did go down a card to do all these things, so we did effectively like mull to 5, because we had to burn the Lotus. Mox Ruby, okay. Red mana, Lauren revealed, yes. So I think our best draw now is Doomsday, and the second best draw is Shieldred. Might even be that the best draw is Shieldred. Because she doesn't get Force of Negation. Okay. Instead, I draw another counterspell, which will be good eventually. And this is, at the moment, just a 1/2. Although any instant will pump that. Any fetch land, likewise. So this can get pretty big. Or get big pretty easily. Ancestral Recall. I think I'm going to Flusterstorm that. So if they have Mental Misstep, they can Mental Misstep 1 copy and pay for the other one. Or what? Red mana here. Okay, they daze one of the copies, which I can't pay for. Okay, I'm not going to pay for that. And then, do I force? There's something weird going on. The opponent is keeping priority. Okay, Force of Will. They have land and 3 other cards. And, okay. Yield through this turn. You may cast your Ancestral, or resolve it rather. They probe us, see that we're sitting on nothing. What was pitched here? Was drowned in the lock. Vexing Bauble. Okay. What's the deal with Vexing Bauble? What if I draw Doomsday right now? What if I draw Shieldred? Well, I mean, I drew Doomsday. I'm not terribly confident here. How big is the Goyf? It's a 2/3 right now. I'll be at 7. So I could, like, cast Ancestral Recall. And then, like, I could put, well, I need to put a Thassa at minimum. If they have Pyroblast, that's kind of bad. They can pop the Bauble in order to also grow their Goyf. So, like, what happens if I Time Walk and then Street Wraith and then put Thassa? I'll be at 7. I'll be at 5 once they attack, assuming they don't grow it. Could also just like put a cut down in here and live a bit longer. It's a lot of options. And like Flusterstorm is also kind of possibly needed because like if they have Pyroblast, yeah. So what I have Ancestral Recall, Flusterstorm, Thassa right now. So what happens if they have like a Wasteland? Then I'm kind of sad. If I remove a Thassa, add a fetch land. You almost feel like they would have an answer to Ancestral Recall. If they don't, then like I draw Recall, I draw these 3, and then if they have an answer to Thassa, then I'm dead. I could make this the second Thassa. So I draw Ancestral Recall, I cast it, I draw Fluster Island Thassa, play Thassa, and if they like counter it, then I have to live one more turn, and then I replay Thassa with Fluster backup. I think I'm gonna try this. I feel super like low on confidence about this, but I'm not sure what pile to make. Okay, so Thassa on the bottom, then probably Fluster and Thassa and Ancestral and the Island. Oh, the other way around. Yeah, let's try this. So like Wasteland would be double bad because it both like takes me off the. Yeah, okay. Never mind. They decided to get rid of their bauble. Draw a card. Okay. Green Mox. Oh, Wasteland. And now I'm just dead because it's a 4/5. Yep. GG's. Oh, gross. Okay, okay. So, all right. A 3-2 record. That seems about how I do in Vintage, which is not terrible, but not spectacular. And we want to be spectacular. But I guess I shouldn't complain. I would need to like I have this is the first Vintage match I've or yeah this is Lee's first of Vintage matches I've played in months. Um, it was fun. Like I'm never anything less than fascinated by the coolness of building piles when you have access to these cards. I think maybe it's just because I've been doing it in Legacy for so long that this feels fresh. But I really felt like there was a lot of to unpack about some of the piles and a lot of sort of wiggle room you could get. I would love to play some more Vintage Doomsday. I just need to find the time and everything. But I don't know. I definitely will get back and play the format, especially if you guys feel like this type of content is fun. But in any case, thanks really thanks so much for watching. Please do all the YouTube stuff if you don't mind, liking and subscribing and all that stuff. That really helps out. And I'll be back with some more Legacy and Vintage. Bye bye.